Lost in space, the ultimate survival challenge. Space, vast, endless and unforgiving. The final frontier for humankind, where exploration brings incredible discovery, but also unimaginable danger. Now imagine what it would be like to be lost, stranded, millions of miles from home. This isn't science fiction. It's a very real possibility. What would happen if you found yourself lost in space? The moment you realize you're lost in space, the first thing that hits is the disorientation. With no up or down, no landmarks to guide you, the vast emptiness of space becomes your entire world. You float weightless, your spaceship a shrinking dot behind you, and reality begins to set in. You're alone. But panic in space is deadly. The oxygen in your suit is limited. Hyperventilating will only shorten your survival window. Your first challenge? Keeping calm in the most terrifying situation imaginable. You're in a vacuum. Space offers no breathable air, no atmospheric pressure, and extreme temperatures ranging from freezing cold to blistering heat, depending on your location relative to a star. Your suit is your lifeline. It provides oxygen, keeps you pressurized, and protects you from radiation. But even the best spacesuit has its limits. Depending on your suit's design, you may only have 6 to 8 hours of oxygen. But oxygen is just one problem. In space, the body will experience decompression if the suit is compromised. The vacuum will cause body fluids to vaporize, leading to almost instant unconsciousness and death. How it feels to be in space. While floating through space, the weightlessness will have strange effects on your body. You'll feel light, unmoored, almost like you're suspended in a dream. But this weightlessness also causes muscle atrophy. After just a few hours, your muscles and bones start to weaken. In longer-term scenarios, your vision may blur, and your body will struggle with fluid distribution as your body's internal pressure is unbalanced. Vertigo might set in as your brain tries to make sense of the zero-gravity environment. Your mind will start playing tricks on you, adding to the psychological toll of isolation. Space is silent. There's no sound, no wind, no one to talk to. With Earth barely visible, you might feel as if you've been abandoned in a cosmic wilderness. Loneliness sets in. Humans are social creatures, and isolation for extended periods can lead to hallucinations, depression, and mental breakdowns. Without the comfort of Earth, family, or human interaction, the psychological toll of being lost in space can be even more dangerous than the physical threats. How long do you have? Time is your biggest enemy. With a typical spacesuit, you have between 6 and 8 hours of oxygen. If you've got food and water with you, you might extend your survival for a few days inside your spacecraft, but oxygen is always the limiting factor. As oxygen runs low, your brain will begin to suffer from hypoxia, a condition where the body and brain are deprived of adequate oxygen. You'll feel dizzy, confused, and fatigued. Hallucinations may begin, and as the oxygen levels continue to drop, you'll slip into unconsciousness and eventually, death. The threats you face. Being lost in space comes with multiple threats beyond just oxygen depletion. Temperature extremes can kill you in minutes. If you're too close to a star, the heat will quickly overwhelm your suit's cooling systems, causing intense sweating, overheating, and dehydration. Conversely, if you're too far from a heat source, you'll face freezing temperatures, where equipment and even your body can freeze solid. Then there's the danger of space debris. Tiny particles moving at thousands of kilometers per hour can pierce your suit or spacecraft, causing catastrophic damage. A collision with even the smallest fragment of space junk can be deadly. How can you survive? If you're lost in space, survival depends on quick thinking and preparation. First, activate any emergency distress beacons immediately. Most spacecraft and spacesuits have built-in systems to send out SOS signals that can travel vast distances, even though space is huge. Next, if your spacesuit has thrusters, use them wisely. Small bursts can help you adjust your trajectory, but you need to calculate your moves carefully. Every bit of fuel counts. Aim toward the nearest safe object. Whether it's a spacecraft, space station, or even an asteroid that might have resources, rescue missions from nearby spacecraft or space stations could be launched. Assess your suit's condition regularly. If you're lucky, you might be able to conserve oxygen by using rebreathers or by reducing physical exertion to slow your oxygen consumption. The reality of space rescue. If you're within a known flight path, rescue might be possible. Space agencies like NASA or SpaceX could track your beacon, launching a rescue mission. But time is always against you. Given how vast space is, the chances of being found are slim. A successful rescue mission would be a race against time. Even with advanced technology, it's likely you'd only have a few hours to be found and retrieved. What happens if rescue never comes? In the worst-case scenario, rescue doesn't come. Your oxygen runs out and your body will eventually succumb to the lack of air. Your body will remain intact in space, preserved in the vacuum. A floating testament to the danger and mystery of space travel and human resilience. Despite these dangers, humanity continues to push the boundaries of space exploration. The thought of being lost in space might terrify us, but it also inspires us to innovate, to create better technology, and to one day ensure that no one will ever truly be lost out there. Lost in space. A terrifying thought, but a reminder of our species' unyielding desire to explore the unknown. And as we venture further into the stars, we prepare not only for discovery, but for survival.